write that number down, take a picture, take a screenshot. It's going to be very helpful for you, and I think you're going to be very happy that you did that, and they're going to do all the work for you that you probably don't want to do in the first place, just like me, because honestly, I don't want to do a whole bunch of work. I want somebody else to do it for me, and that's exactly what that is all about. They'll absolutely help you out. Again, bring your list of questions. They'll answer those for you. All right, anyway, I'm going to share with you exactly what's going on here, because this is interesting. We've seen a massive shift over the last couple of years with, the thoughts of the American people and kind of the consensus around the distribution of ongoing money, and we'll see exactly what that means here. Now, let's pop this up. I'm going to be fair with you. These are 2 AI summary screenshots. I like these. I basically put into AI and said, hey, give me a summary of the Make Billionaires Pay Their Fair Share Act, and also give me a summary of the American AI Sovereign Wealth Fund Act, because both of these were introduced by Bernie Sanders. Now, let's talk about these, because these are plans essentially to distribute thousands of dollars to a lot of people across the country. And a recent report that was released is suggesting 69% of the American population is in support of these types of plans. Okay, that's why I said earlier, nearly 70%. Yeah, again, the report suggests 69% of the population is in support of these plans. Anyway, these are 2 of them that are out there, and they're getting a lot of traction. Number 1 is the Make Billionaires Pay Their Fair Share Act. Now, let me give you some rough guidelines around this. Basically, what it would do is it would establish a $3,000 annual payment to individuals, each individual, up to a household of 4, with a $12,000 payment, so $3,000 per person. Basically, what this would do is it would tax billionaires, so all billionaires across the entire United States, which is a little bit less than 1,000 people, but it basically put a 5% annual wealth tax on these individuals, which would be suspected to generate about $4.4 trillion over a 10-year period of time, which obviously translates into an average of $440 billion a year, which is absolutely nuts. That is incredible. That's a lot of money. But basically what they would want to do is take that money and distribute it, again, in a $3,000 annual payment to the American people, again, with incomes below the respective thresholds that they would put in place. But that's about where we'd be at with that, okay? So anyway, that's, essentially that plan. The Make Billionaires Pay Their Fair Share Act. Obviously, I want to be fair with you. Both of these have not passed yet, but they are introduced by Bernie Sanders. And again, a lot of people out there across the entire United States are certainly in support of these plans. Okay, so that's that one. Again, $3,000 a pop for individuals with that plan right there. I don't know. It's a lot of money that a lot of people could really, really need right now. Now, the next one is American AI Sovereign Wealth Fund Act. This was also introduced by Bernie Sanders, and this one would not be a tax on individuals, but rather this one would be a 50% tax on stock for AI companies. Okay, so you hear about all these AI hyperscalers and these large AI companies that are making money hand over fist, or it makes it seem that way anyway. But basically what it would do is it would put a 50% tax on their stock. Now, it would not be a tax where they say like, okay, like pay 50% of whatever your stock is worth. No, basically what they would say is hand over 50% of your stock. We'll put that stock into the American AI Sovereign Wealth Fund. They'll put that stock in there from all these large AI hyperscalers and large AI companies, and then they'll hold that in there. And as these companies continue to grow in value and appreciate, then obviously their stock value would also appreciate, gain in value. And then what that would do is it would pay out a roughly 5% dividend per year to the American population, all Americans, what that means. And they are anticipating that would generate about a $1,000 annual payment to every single person across the country. Now, this would be set up kind of like a universal basic income program where essentially every single person would qualify, but it would only be $1,000. Now, if they kind of refined the qualifications on that and the eligibility to only focus on maybe middle or lower income individuals, or maybe put an income threshold of say $100,000 a person, or $200,000 for a married couple or whatever they would do like that, obviously that number would go up significantly. And every year, as the value of these AI stock companies, the AI companies and their stock appreciates, then obviously the value within the American AI Sovereign Wealth Fund would continue to expand. Therefore, a 5% dividend on, say, $1 trillion is less than a 5% dividend on $2 trillion, right? So each year, as their stock valuations continue to increase and appreciate, then obviously that 5% dividend payout would get larger and larger and larger and larger over time as well. But it would likely start around $8,000 per year per person across the board. So anyway, these are some of the major plans that are out there, and I'm going to be fair, I anticipate that we're going to see a whole lot more of this coming up over the coming months and years as they continue to find more and more ways to implement greater taxes on these AI companies and, just basically ways of finding that, yes, AI is extremely profitable. And as Bernie Sanders likes to say, it's kind of built off the back of humanity, like all of our knowledge, all of our experiences, everything that we have recorded, AI is built off the back of that. And Bernie Sanders is essentially saying, AI was built off of humanity. We should be getting a share of that.